Within this study, we had 40 case studies from Morocco to the southern Philippines, and we looked at their history and their current plight. And next, we'll have Nafees Ahmed recounting some of the horror stories that we discovered in our research. And she'll also show an often overlooked side of the war on terror, that it has in fact become a war on women.
Because these staggering statistics involve hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, they are numbing and difficult to comprehend. Perhaps individual cases will throw the horror of genocide in sharper relief. Consider the 2 children in Waziristan who saw their father shot in the head during indiscriminate firing by Pakistani security forces when he took them shopping to a bazaar. The children were covered in blood and brains. They saw their beloved father, head shattered, lying in a pool of blood with no one to help them. For hours, the children sat by the dead body of their father, eyes wide open, not able to cry, not able to speak. Or consider the Fulani Muslims of the Middle Belt region of Nigeria who became victims of cannibalism by Barun tribesmen making matter-of-fact comments on video while police watched passively. "I want the heart," and "Did you put some salt?" Or hear a Russian soldier describing what his fellow soldiers were doing in Chechnya. One guy pinned a Chechen to the ground with his foot, while another pulled off his pants, and with 2 or 3 hefty slashes severed his scrotum. The serrated blade of the knife snagged the skin and pulled the blood vessels from his body. In a half a day, the whole village was castrated. Then, the battalion moved out. Or listen to Fatoumata, the brave young Fulani woman who relived her ordeal at the hands of security forces chanting, "We are going to exterminate the Fulani," in the notorious episode at the stadium of Conakry, Guinea. A police officer, after raping me, decided to urinate in my mouth. I received streams of urine all over my face. After, they used sticks to rape me. Then, finally, one stabbed me in the front, in my private parts. The blood began to flow, and I was so exhausted that I could not scream or cry. Or hear the courageous Kashmiri woman recalling the night the women of her village were gang raped by the Indian Army. The army entered our houses at 10 p.m. and left at 9 in the morning. There were screams everywhere from almost every house in the village. Or contemplate the bodies of dead Baloch men with lettering carved into their chests, declaring, "Long live Pakistan." It is difficult to believe that these are not chronicles and legends of ancient peoples visited by demon barbarians. But what is happening today? People on the periphery have been traumatized beyond imagination in recent years. They have been cooked and eaten. Their women have been gang raped. Their elders and religious leaders have been humiliated, tortured, and killed. Their houses of worship have been destroyed. They have been relocated from their homes, and their lands have been stolen from them. They face widespread famine and disease. They are voiceless and friendless in a hostile world. They have been robbed of their dignity and honor. They have seen their young men and women transformed into suicide bombers, killing innocent women and children, passengers in buses, worshippers in mosques. And yet, the world seems indifferent to their suffering and is barely aware of its scale. This is indeed the dark side of the soul of man. After the grim and relentless litany of woes I have just related, it should give everyone pause to reflect on the fate of humans and ask, is this where we were meant to arrive? In the end, will we be defined by little more than our indubitable capacity to breed and to kill?